Scorpio, good afternoon. How are you, Scorpio? So it's really cold in the UK at the moment. My hands are freezing. How are you, Scorpio? So let's have a look to see what you've got coming up for your week. So you've got Two of Cups for a lot of you. So you could be dealing with a Libra. For a lot of you, you could have split up with an ex. For a lot of you, this could be where you got divorced. It can mean Libra, so it can mean justice. So it's kind of like we probably got divorced, we had children together, blah, blah, blah. We're kind of separated. We're still connected via either a marriage or a commitment of relationship. Situationship. But this is where pretty much everybody, we got divorced, we had children. The only thing that keeps us bound together is the fact that we have to contact each other maybe now and again because of the kids. But that's pretty much it, so on and so forth. Now, if a lot of you are not like divorced, separated, dealing with someone that may have children or going through a divorce themselves, then it could just literally be where you've just got like a new Two of Cups person. This can also mean someone that I do not live with. I have a connection with, but I do not live with them. Some people, it can also be where I've got a connection with someone, but I don't even speak to them. So it's up to you. Okay, Scorpio. So let's see, Scorpio, what have they got coming up for their week, please, for Scorpio? So you got 7 of Wands. So some of you are going through a complete and utter breakdown with someone. It's kind of like this breakup, split up, breakup. It might not even be where it comes to breaking up. It's just where you just argue with your person constantly all the time. This is also where you also have to protect yourself, because it's like, look, I can't do everything for you all the time. You're going to have to start doing something yourself. Don't keep coming at me, attacking me for everything that I'm doing right, or if I'm doing it wrong. It really doesn't matter. It's down to me what I'm doing, but if I can't do enough for you, then I'm going to start putting boundaries in place and just cut you off. Because it's sometimes it can be I can't even be bothered to listen to you at the moment, so I'm just going to cut you off. Like, I haven't got time to stand around and mess about. I'm just going to cut you off or not listen to you, or, it doesn't mean a breakup, but it definitely means I ain't going to stand around listening to too much of this. I'm too busy. I got so much to do. So some of you, though, this is the people, you could be even indicative with the person itself that's going through a divorce themselves. Okay, so like if you were interested in someone, this person would have definitely come from a divorce, and that is pretty much the procedures of what they're also going through themselves. On a general level, if it's nothing to do with the divorced couple, it is basically where the Two of Cups is just like, oh God, we're more like I'm trying not to swear really at the moment, twat flames, but so you've got the Hierophant. So you've got, you could be dealing with a Taurus, Sagittarius, or a marriage, but Virgo energy here. So the Hermit. So I'm lost for words at the moment. It's kind of like that. Look, I'm lost for words at the moment. I've got speechless. I've got nothing to say. Like, it's just kind of like the energy is like, well, I ain't got nothing to say. So it's like speechless energy. Now, for some of you, you're just constantly out there. Too long searching, or this person is, way too long searching for a soulmate that you're not even speaking to. You haven't even met them yet. You don't even know of them. For some people, this is like, there's a wall and there's a barrier between us, and it has to be the 7D. You need to snap out that one. You need to speak to soulmates, and if you're not, then it's just relating to other people that are kind of going through certain things. Scorpio, what's going on with Scorpio this week, please? Scorpio. So you've also got the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, feeling good and looking fine. And then you get the Six of Swords, and then everything all of a sudden is all right. This is a bit like the calm. I don't know why they say the calm before the storm, because this is more like the storm before it becomes more calm. So I'm also picking up Storm Raiders, or something to do around Luke Skywalker, or Luke, or Lucy, or Louise, or Lucifer, Capricorn, or Elle, or Linda, or Belinda. But like, this is kind of like the storm, and then all of a sudden it becomes all right again. It's kind of like, where Two of Cups, you can get into stupid little arguments that are minor. Like, a Two of Cups is a very minor. For someone else, it isn't. It's very major. Okay, it's kind of like, well, you're not paying any attention to me. It's like, well, I can't pay attention to you all the time. Okay, Two of Cups. Like, I do also have my life to deal with as well. I need a break, Tommy. I'm filling up. I can't keep doing everything for you two. Okay, I might love you, boo, but I can't do everything for you. You got to do stuff yourself. I can't do it all. Okay, because it can be like a one-man band trying to do everything and I can't do everything for you. So, you know, if you're going to waste my time, then I'm just going to cut you off because I'm busy, right? Normally people are very busy, even though, you know, who isn't busy in these days, right? So, yeah, so it's kind of like, I'm so busy, I've got so much to do. If you're not going to if you're just going to mess about, okay, then I'm just going to cut you off. Now, for some of you here, like I said, you could have just got to know someone. They're very flaky, and it's kind of like, oh, if you're not going to add any kind of quality in my life, then you might as well just leave it and go. Okay, so, but for some of you, I'm picking up, this is up where it's like, having time but making time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of making up, because this is, how can I put it? This is frustrating when one person wants the other person to be something that they're not, or to try and control. It might be a Piscean and not, but like, I'm trying to get you to do what I want you to do because you're my number two. And it's like, well, I might be your number two, but to me, I'm my own number one. I'm number one, you're number two. Oh, no, I'm not. Well, you can be that yourself, but I'm number one for me, so I put me first. Oh, well, you're selfish. Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes I have to put me first ahead of you. Okay, so then you get into arguments with human beings, the fact that you can't do things for them because you're putting yourself first. I've got stuff to do. It could even be just general like work. I've got work to do. Okay, I'm working. Where are you? Well, I'm finished. Okay, but I haven't. So it's like, well, so why can't you do that for me? Well, I'm busy. I can't do everything for you two because I'm number one, so I have to make sure that everything is finished with me first before I have time in order to come and see you. I've got to make sure that I've done everything. Sometimes some people are so much in a rush to like, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And it's like, well, I can do it when I have time to do it. But if I haven't got time, then I haven't got time. You know, my day is filled with use because 6 can normally mean going to see and visit and families. 2 of Cups is where you might be with someone, but you don't live with them. Okay, you don't actually live in a 6 of Cups family, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And you're kind of like, look, you know, we live apart, but in order to come together, that has to be at the end of the day. Okay, so it's kind of like, you know, you're going through whatever this is causing here, something very minor, but to the other person it's major. But then it's kind of like, you know, this is where the men get called arrogant and selfish, or women, you know, you're arrogant, you're selfish, you think of nothing but yourself, and where do I fit into your bracket? Well, you do, but later on, when I'm finished. You know, so that's pretty much what seems to be going on. Let's see what else is coming up. So you've got this. So here's the divorce situation for you guys that are getting divorced. There's the number 2 again. Okay, so this is the crossover stuff that all the people that are kind of going through these divorces and separations. This can also be petty arguments. It's a very major card. It's either making it or breaking it or reaching out and speaking. But it can also just be, okay, we're not talking, then we are talking, then we're not talking, then we are talking. But it's also a lot of travelling and visits and stuff like that as well. I'm also picking up for some of you like visitational rights. I have to wait for him or her to come back to pick up the children and blah, blah, blah. And we never reconcile, but we're always just in contact just because, you know, this really could be, who was that was in Contact? What is her name? One of my favourite films, Contact. Jodie Foster. This is Cockfrost. But Jodie Foster. Okay. So, contact. We have to contact each other now and again. Or do we have to contact each other now and again? It depends on how minor or major this is. Let's see. Scorpio. So you got the, it's just showing me signs of what you guys are going through with this divorce. It's straightforward. Divorce, separation. Okay, if not third party involving someone else's husband or wife. This could be where your ex-husband or wife went off and met someone else and they're in your same reading as a relationship partner, but they're just dealing with all 4 people, basically. Okay, if all of you moved on. Like I said, there is also this, I don't know, where relationships are always on rocky grounds, you know, rocky roads, islands, Rhodes, Louisiana. Rhodes Island. I keep hearing Rhodes Island. Anyway, Scorpio this week. So you got 8 of Wands. There you go. Everything picks up again, and then the Emperor. This is just, I know this can get very boring, but if you want the truth about tarot card readings, it just shows me your day, your week, and how they're pretty much going. So I've got quite a few messages for you if you want to stay around and listen, but make sure that you give it a like first, okay? Please make sure you don't skip that bit. Please give it a like and a comment, right? Okay, so your general day casts of some of you that are in relationships, you're just kind of having a bit of a struggle. One of you sees the other person as unfair because the other person is, like, say for instance, if you got a car and the other person hasn't got a car, okay, and it requires travelling, and I can't travel without your transportation, so I need you to pick me up and come and get me and blah blah blah, right? This is coming to get someone, and it's kind of like, I can when I'm finished work and my business, like at the end of the day when I have time, I will come and pick you up and I will travel to come and see you. Okay, so if you're going for a general tit for tat relationship and there are huge factors of like transportation and you have to travel to see your partner and one has a car and the other one doesn't have a car because there's no car here, right? So at the moment of Cancerian, but like if it is something like that, because this is traveling, okay. So this can be like, oh, well, if you're too busy in order to think about me and you've got your business to contend with, then don't worry about me. I've got, well, okay. You know, so it's those general little stuff, right, where people just are people. But this is an Emperor as well as anything else. That means it can be an entrepreneur that has a lot of business stuff to do, like works at home, maybe has their own company, runs their own business, so on and so forth. But then you can get people that don't run their own business and they work for something like Libra. Libra would be where I work in a shop, or I work clock in, clock out. You know, I go in at a certain time, clock in, finish at a certain time, clock out. Emperor, I clock in when I want and I clock out when I can. Okay, depending on my workload of day. If I've got a load of clients, if I've got a load of stuff coming up for my day, then I can only clock out when I'm finished. These will cause these arguments with people that are entrepreneurial and have their own businesses. Because if they work for clients, they can only really finish when they're clients if they've got, you know, like me, for instance, when I do this. Okay, I got personal readings. I got one going at the moment. Crystal, I'm talking to someone in a moment. And then I got another email coming up. And then I got another personal reading. So my day only finishes when when I've planned, when my planner says it's finished, right? That's an entrepreneur energy. Okay, so you could have little arguments like that. Now, obviously, for a lot of you, it soon then goes straight back to how it was before. So you got a little blip coming up this week. For most of you here, like I said, this is Scorpio Aries because it is a 4. Okay, and I read in numerology, so it is 4. So you can come up in Aries reading if I was to be doing them on YouTube, but I don't really do so many Aries readings apart from the monthlies anymore. You'll catch them on Patreon, but just not here so much. But yeah, this is a couple that are facing divorce and separation. Okay, they're communicating about business and money more than likely here. Okay, Scorpio, but don't forget, if your partner, either of you exes that have 4s in their chart, Scorpio or Aries, okay, they're going to come up in the same reading as you. Okay, say like they've moved on with their life and they're in a relationship, but one of you isn't. They and you are in this situation here. Scorpio, this week. So there's the Queen of Pentacles to say that there is a relationship here. Someone is in one. Okay, so that's that. Scorpio this week. What's coming up for Scorpio this week, please? For Scorpio this week. Then I'm going to do you what's in the T. 3 of Wands in reverse. The Moon. Oh. So, for a lot of you, there's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy here, possible Virgo. You got 2 9 energies, Virgo and the Moon. You got 3 that does represent Pisces. It's always one waiting on another, or a mother. This person that's getting divorced, I think, is a mum. They have children, very busy as well. But there are also undisclosed feelings. Like I said, normally when people get on with their life, they're like, well, you're not, you're not talking to me so much, and you're not doing all of these, and you're kind of like, well, look, I'm busy, I'm waiting for, I'm waiting for something, blah blah blah. Okay. What else is that going to mean? Well, it can mean third energies here that can be coming into play. Cat and play, cat and dog, chase mouse, dog, cat, Leo could be here. Scorpio. Now you got another 3, and then, well, this is an Aries energy to me. Sorry, this is a Leo energy to me, but Aries, Leo, Sagittarian, paradox number also as normal. If you don't know what that is, you need my teaching tier. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. So counterpart, and then also apart from counterpart. So meaning that we're together, but we don't live together. If you are together with someone, if you are, you're living with them, but there are exes involved. Some of you have got divorced or getting divorced, but you're still counterpart energies, or your husband or wife went off with someone else and they have another counterpart that puts them at the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Because if you've got an ex and you really don't get on when you're divorcing, and your husband or your wife has met a person, this is why the King and the Queen is here, that are what is to come after the separation. Okay, now the more the time the person comes back, it's probably just for the children that are not in this reading here. Okay, one more card please for Scorpio's week. So, oh, wow, so you got some exciting stuff coming up when we go over to Patreon. So you got the High Priestess here, so which is Libra again. You got 2 energy, which means court justice, Libra, 2 metaphysical and also physical energy that's coming through of messages. Okay, so now let's have a look at any other messages for Scorpio to be aware of, please. Any other messages that you want Scorpio to be aware of this week? So we have drama starter, we have wasting time, stuck, no changes, and limited. Any other messages for Scorpio? This can still mean a partner or someone that's connected to you. Okay. Any other messages, please, for Scorpio? And then we have happiness hater. Oh dear. So this is showing me that any signs of what it is to do with around a husband or a wife, or the other person that looks over the other person's, this is sometimes when they don't like, I know it's crap, right? Say if you were married and something went on and you were in a relationship and the husband or the wife went off and cheated with another person, this is when the other person thinks, what a waste of time it's been now having to look at you sleaze all over another person. When it went wrong with us, it's bound to go wrong with you. And now I need to look at you and it's like, oh, what a waste of time that you are, and what a waste of time that it was us going through all what we went through. What a complete and utter waste of time. Okay. And then it's like just starting up drama, and it might be because you have to see your ex-partner, and if they have moved on, say if you've had children and they have moved on and you have to see that person, and then you have to also know that, oh God, she's getting involved with my children and blah, blah, blah. And who is she? And is she a good person or a bad person? You can really get into all of those. Some of you have got this situation going on where it's like this, limited by metaphysical. Your metaphysical experiences, meaning it's limited because you're not even speaking to them. There's brackets to different kinds of metaphysics here for a lot of people. Metaphysics is better when you have a connection with someone that you're at least talking to. Okay, that you're talking to them. But some people, they have metaphysical connections with people out of space that are a long way off, and they don't speak to them. They don't know of them really. They haven't spoke to them in years or a long time, but they just sit there expecting that that's just going to come true with no verbal communication. It's not a chance. Because before you even know it, the person could have just moved on, and you haven't spoke to them in so long and you don't even know. It's no good asking a tarot reader, how does someone back in 1956 feel about me, and I haven't spoke to them in 12 years. Chances are nothing. Chances are that they've just gone their own way. They're in a relationship. So it's always vital to keep up communication And if that breaks down and that is impossible, then you have to go your separate ways. If that's impossible, if you cannot communicate on a verbal, descriptive, calm level, you've got to go your separate ways. Okay. But again, this is some like I said, this is just people that float around all the twin flame stuff, and they watch it for years on ends, not communicating, and people start like, yes, I'm a DF and I'm a DM and I'm empowered, and we all just feed on each other's energy without actually anybody telling you, you know, wake the fuck up and actually speak to the person, or don't, you know. You got to participate and communicate in life, or there's no point, right? So, you know, don't watch tarot for like, is there going to be communication with a person I want to speak to? I haven't spoke to in 5 years. Don't be one of those, because that ain't going to work. Okay, that won't, your readings won't ring a bell and come true, John. Okay, so, you know, so there is something there along those lines here. I'm not going to be able to say too much more until I clarify. How long have we done? 23. So I'm going to leave it there at the moment, Scorpio. So what we are going to do is on the other side, I'm going to leave those. I'm going to clarify these: waste of time, the happiness hater, and the drama starter. Tell you more about a story of that. Going to draw you 3 main cards down the side here with these for your outcome, of what your outcome is going to look like towards this situation of a story, if it's relating to you, and what is the outcome going to look like and be. And then we also do this what's in the tea and clarify those. And then sometimes we use these also, which is in the dark, stuff that's coming through of what the intentions of the person are, what are their thoughts, what are their feelings, are they getting frustrated, are they coming across as confusing, so on and so forth, and we go through all of those. If you would like that extended reading, then you will need to join Patreon. The Patreon link can be found below, but you will need the silver or the gold tier. It will not be on the bronze tier, because that's just for monthlies. Okay, the silver tier and the gold tier have everything on there, so you will need that tier. If you are trying to contact me for a personal reading, I've changed the link below now, so it isn't a link. You have to type out the email when composing an email. So you go to whatever email it is that you use. I use Google Mail, not Gmail, not AOL or anything like that. I use Google Mail. Sometimes they don't get through to Google Mail, and I think the reason why it isn't is because people are clicking on the link below and not actually typing out the email address when composing an email. If you can't get through and I don't contact you within a day, roughly, for a personal reading email, because I'll always get back to you more or less straight away. If I don't, then make sure that you leave your email in the comment section below, or somewhere where I can send you one, and then I should be able to definitely get through to you and send you the template of stuff there. Okay? All right, guys, thanks very much, and I will hopefully see you over on Patreon.